Welcome to the magical tale of Sleeping Beauty. Sit back, enjoy the story, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing adventures.
Once upon a time, in a joyful and prosperous kingdom, there lived a kind-hearted king and queen. Despite their many blessings, they had only one heartfelt desire: to have a child of their own. Believing that their wish would one day be granted, they remained hopeful. And soon enough, their dream became a reality. They were gifted with a beautiful baby girl, whose radiance was as warm and bright as the sun. Filled with love, they named their little princess Sunshine. To share their happiness, the king and queen decided to host a grand celebration in honor of Sunshine's birth. Invitations were sent far and wide, even reaching the mystical fairies of the enchanted forest. However, in their excitement, they made a grave mistake. They overlooked inviting one particular fairy. They showered Princess Sunshine with heartfelt blessings and precious gifts. Then, it was time for the 12 fairies to present their magical gifts. Each fairy bestowed a unique and extraordinary blessing upon Sunshine. May you always carry the beauty of the world with you. Little princess, my gift to you is eternal happiness. May your heart always be filled with joy, free from sorrow. But just as the final fairy prepared to give her gift, something completely unexpected happened. Suddenly, a thick green smoke spread across the grand ballroom, shrouding everything in mystery. When it finally cleared, a dark figure emerged, the Black Fairy. The king, startled by the unexpected guest, demanded to know who dared to disrupt such a joyous occasion. But before he could get an answer, the other fairies gasped in recognition. It was none other than the wicked Black Fairy, known for her cruel heart. With a sinister smile, she spoke. "Ah, I see that everyone was invited, royals, nobles, and fairies alike. Everyone but me." Realizing their mistake, the king sincerely apologized for the oversight. But the Black Fairy merely smirked. "Oh, no need for apologies. I wouldn't dream of leaving this charming little princess without a gift of my own." She raised her hands dramatically and declared, "The most beautiful princess will grow up surrounded by love, happiness, and admiration." But a chilling silence fell over the room as she continued. On her 16th birthday, just before sunset, she will prick her finger on a needle, and she will be lost forever. The king, enraged, shouted, "Seize that wicked creature!" But before anyone could act, the Black Fairy vanished into thin air, her cruel laughter echoing through the ballroom. Now it was the final fairy's turn to give her gift. Though she was not as powerful as the Black Fairy, she refused to let such a dark curse go unanswered. With a determined heart, she stepped forward and spoke gently. "I cannot undo the curse, but I can soften its fate." Determined to prevent the terrible curse from coming true, the king took drastic measures. He ordered that every needle, sewing machine, or anything resembling a needle be gathered and burned in the castle's courtyard. Meanwhile, under the fairy's blessings, Princess Sunshine grew into a beautiful and kind-hearted young girl, adored by everyone in the kingdom. Fearing for her safety, the king assigned 3 fairies to guard and care for Sunshine. However, this proved to be a challenging task, as Sunshine was not allowed to interact with anyone besides her guardians. Despite the isolation, Sunshine blossomed into a graceful young woman under the fairies' watchful eyes. Then the fateful day arrived, her 16th birthday. With only a few hours left before sunset, the king and queen took every precaution to prevent the curse from unfolding. Yet deep inside, they feared the worst. In a desperate attempt to protect their daughter, they locked her away in a room. But unaware of the true reason behind it, Sunshine felt frustrated and restless. Just then, something unusual happened. A mysterious door appeared in the wall. Sunshine, completely enchanted by this strange sight, couldn't resist her curiosity. From behind the door, she heard odd noises that only made her more eager to find out what lay beyond. Curious and unaware of the danger ahead, Sunshine stepped through the mysterious door. Inside the dimly lit room, a woman sat, busy at a sewing machine. Drawn in as if under a spell, Sunshine slowly walked toward her. Then, just as the sun began to set, the Black Fairy's curse took effect. Sunshine reached out, her fingers brushing against the needle. In that very instant, the prophecy was fulfilled. With a single touch, she collapsed to the ground, sinking into an eternal slumber. A chilling laughter echoed through the air. And so, as the final rays of sunlight faded, the Black Fairy's dark spell took hold, marking Sunshine's 16th birthday with a fateful twist. They dressed the princess in her finest gown and placed her on a bed of flowers. From that day on, she was known as Sleeping Beauty. Heartbroken, the king and queen couldn't bear the pain of waiting for her return. To ease their sorrow, they cast a spell over the entire castle, putting everyone into a deep sleep, until the day their beloved daughter would awaken. 100 years passed. One day, a brave prince rode past the now-forgotten castle, its walls covered in thorny vines and ivy. Intrigued by the legends of the Sleeping Beauty, he decided to venture inside. The thorns were thick, making it nearly impossible to enter. Determined, the prince drew his sword, slashing through the vines until he reached the castle doors. Inside, he was astonished. Everywhere he looked, people lay fast asleep. He wandered through the silent halls until he reached a half-open door. Stepping inside, he saw the princess lying peacefully on her bed of flowers. Captivated by her beauty, he leaned close and whispered, "So, you are the legendary Sleeping Beauty. You are truly breathtaking." Overcome with admiration, he gently kissed her forehead. At that very moment, her eyes fluttered open. She gazed up at the prince, her heart filled with wonder. As she awoke, the entire castle came back to life. The king and queen rushed into the room, overwhelmed with joy and disbelief. The prince, enchanted by the princess, asked for her hand in marriage. She smiled and happily accepted. The king, filled with gratitude, blessed their union. A grand wedding was held, more beautiful than any had ever seen. And from that day on, they lived happily ever after.